Hey, it's Bob here, and I just want to say we love Wix. Wix is an awesome website. My God, it's free. You know, I just built a like 12-page website for a new business I started. It's amazing how much you can do. But hey, that's enough about Wix. Let's talk about the Bunker Show. Yeah, coming up now.
The Bunker Project, podcast episode number 82.
You know, after like 20 shows, I forgot.
It's the Black Beer.
Man, love that mix down, Andrew.
All right, so we're back in the Den, a bar on Robson Street in downtown Vancouver, and we're live to Hard Drive.
That's show 2, and we're really drunk.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the automotive industry and social media with lovebuyingcars.com. Ian Nethercott.
All right, Ian, yeah. Ian, Frank, Bill.
Marcel
Joe.
Laporte from the
Bald
movie
guy.
Yearbook. Marcel Laporte from Lapointe.
Lapointe.
Not Leo Laporte.
The
Marcel
sticky guy.
Lapointe
Pointy stick dude over there.
He's going to talk about his
Movies.
100th episode. He's got his 100th blog post up.
Apparently it was a crap movie, so don't
we're
even bother.
We're going to find out from what's going on with that. We might have a little bit of fight Windows versus or Android versus Apple. That might happen. I don't know.
No,
It happened between shows.
Exactly. It was awesome content. Sorry, you missed it.
And we're going to talk about a few other things. How about this one? 3 major publishers are suing an open education textbook startup.
Why?
Well, because they don't want to lose money because a textbook costs hundreds of dollars, $120.
Well, you know, the other argument is that, you know, once the textbook people finally get their act together and don't act like the music industry, they will realize that there's a huge market. It's, here, I'm buying this $170 textbook, this physical thing. I'm going to go to university, mark it up a little bit, blah, blah, blah. And, hey, new student, guess what? I don't need this book. Do you want to buy it for $80? And they're not making any money on that. If they go digital, you buy the $50 or $60 or $80 version of it, it has no value at the end because you won't be able to give it to the other student. Hello.
Save a tree.
Well, you know what this software
Save
does?
a salmon.
You know what this software
You're
does?
smarter than that.
What the software does is that you enter in the textbooks that you need to buy, and this open source software will source out content from open source free sources and produce a textbook, a customized textbook for you that is
No way.
what they say, it's as just as good
Or
as
better.
or better than the textbook that you would have paid, $120, $130.
Now, how much does that software cost? I'm willing to buy that because I want to make all sorts of
It's
books.
absolutely free, but 3 major textbook publishers have sued the startup company,
Bastards.
citing copyright infringement.
Copyright schmucky, mate.
They should print it in chocolate.
And the argument they're making is
Salmon blood.
The argument they're making is that the mapping of printed books, published books, is called. It's basically they're saying it's alignment. They're aligning the product to match their product, and therefore it violates copyright by default.
Sounds like legal schmeagle stuff here, man.
So that would mean like OpenOffice and LibreOffice and maybe even Google Docs is aligning itself to Microsoft Office, and therefore should be in violation of copyright.
You know, I really like that concept, but, you know, in the long run...
Android aligned itself to the iPhone, and therefore it's in violation of copyright.
Well, you know, it's the whole thing is if you create content...
No, for the purposes of the book
He's on
app.
drugs, don't worry.
What's that?
The purposes of the book app.
No, they align for the purposes of the book app, not just in general.
Yeah.
You can breathe again.
I guess I'm on drugs.
She was a little confused. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, but they're specialty drugs, so not stuff you can just score in Vancouver. Hey, my question is though, if people aggregate all content, where does the content come? Because if you can't survive as a content creator and everybody's aggregating off your content and you make no money on the content, you don't survive as a content creator. It's a catch-22. Eventually, all the content creators will die off and you won't have any content to aggregate to. So there you go.
Live performance.
Oh, that would be awesome. Some barbed wire and some chicken fat. And sorry, I just got exaggerated.
What?
It's performance art. Those are classic supplies for performance art. For God's sake, where have you been? Okay, if it's JPG, would be like, salmon parts.
Those are good drugs.
Not all salmon.
He's not sharing.
Salmon smoke.
Other predators. I would eat other predators.
Kelp.
Okay, even
I
beer
heard-
doesn't cut it for
You know,
this
sea
conversation.
lice.
That's bull.
That
Sea
argument
lice.
would also apply to
What about
sea
Wikipedia
lice?
aligning itself
I
with
heard-
Britannica.
I heard BC salmon is the strongest.
What I want to know is why aren't BC salmon using what's that?
Drugs?
Proactive. No.
There's none left in the freezer.
I'm not even
Too
going to
many
bother
drugs?
going there. So back to
The books.
social media
Digression.
and content.
Okay, so we got the car Maven here.
Oh yeah, there he is
So,
in his
uh,
Ferrari. Hey, Car Maven, what do you drive?
Well, I'm driving a Ford Focus, actually, 2012 with the Microsoft technology, which actually they just had to redesign because it had all kinds of issues. Still has issues, but it looks prettier now.
You don't have to stop and reboot the vehicle?
Well, every once in a while it does that. Yeah, it's got some issues. It tries to update. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I heard the
But it is one of the better systems, believe it or not.
I heard that the Ford Sync system
Does it have Windows?
is awesome.
No, it's something different, I think.
Yeah, I can't see a thing.
Yeah, but have Windows, then you'd have other problems.
You mean how do you?
Your
so-
windshield turns blue, right?
Oh, here we go.
Oh man. So when you
And
drive,
there were a few lawsuits about the technology after they introduced
so
it.
do
just
you
so
have
know.
trouble when you drive up the coast and see major vistas? Oh, chipping.
No, it's the minor vistas you got to worry about. The bootleg ones.
Oh, yeah. No, but it's a nice piece of technology. I've driven around in it.
Yeah.
We did try and get sideswiped by a vehicle, but it brought out the asshole mirror came
Yeah.
out and just sliced the guy in half. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I heard the problems are only with the whole heads-up display part of Sync, right?
Yeah, well, they had some issues with Sync initially, and part of it was that obviously it wasn't ready for publication when they put it in the vehicles. Mm-hmm. So what they decided to do instead of trying to fix it was to totally redesign the whole thing. So recently, I guess it was about 3 weeks ago, they updated the sync system. But the funny thing was, because I also have navigation, they couldn't update it both at once because it's Windows. So, of course, it takes a little bit of time for Microsoft to get that other piece done.
How many weeks?
It took like another week to get that piece done, so that way I could have the navigation. Because basically, when you installed the update, the navigation no longer worked. So then you had to wait for the next service pack to get that handled.
That's why we ended
Yeah.
up in Surrey when we came downtown today.
Yeah, it had some issues, but the nice thing is it's prettier now.
Oh, very
and
pretty.
they added some features, including you can now do wireless hotspots in your car, which
That's
is kind of cool.
neat. Well, haven't they been doing that in the U.S. for a long time? They just legalized it in Canada?
I don't know. It's a new feature. There's a bunch of other new features. But the other cool thing is it fixed the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth initially was really, really
it
bad sound
sucked.
quality.
Well, this
and
is
then
what-
they fixed it. The software was much better.
This is what Ian sounded like before the Bluetooth. Pop, money, asshole. And now it's like, asshole, money. No, just kidding. No, it's much better. Much better.
In addition to that, they added a lot of other features. They still don't have the full buildings in the navigation screen. Like they have some buildings in the 3D view, but which is kind of odd. Like
Why
they
do you
just
need
have-
3D view if
They have
you're
they
in
have
a
like
car?
they have some buildings. They have like some
It's
buildings.
coming right for you.
I'm in the lobby. I'm going up the stairs. Hi.
First
I
person
guess you
driving.
could shoot it. If
You have to
say
wear
that.
3D glasses when you drive.
No, Google glasses, which we'll be
Oh
bringing
man,
up.
that's amazing.
No. What are you talking about? Microsoft glasses, man. Come on.
Google glasses. Yeah.
Put on your Googles and start driving.
But the funny thing is, it has like random landmark buildings. Like it's not all the buildings; it's like random landmark
Wow.
buildings exist, but
Whoever-
only in the 3D mode.
whoever
so it's
paid.
like,
In the future, there will be a building here.
yeah, all the other buildings don't exist, but there's sporadically like there's no bridges, but there's like these weird buildings. It's just strange.
Very weird.
But
Those are-
it
those are-
is a good system though.
Those are sponsored. Buildings.
Yeah, and not only
If
that,
you're on acid. If you're on
yeah, if you're
acid.
on that fish food stuff. No, but in addition to that, so if you're driving, it
How do I
disables
smoke?
features so you can't hit things. It goes for your safety and convenience. We've disabled this feature.
Yeah. For your safety and convenience, we've stopped your car in the middle of the road. Hey,
Yeah. It was quite interesting. It was definitely quite interesting.
All right, so you like Ford
Your car talks
because
back.
they're forward thinking using social
Well,
media?
when I went
Their
to
forward thing.
when I went to buy a new car, I looked at a number of different vehicles and social media. Ford was the first company in the automotive space, anyway, to really get into social media and to take a lot of risk. They actually marketed the Ford Focus and the Ford Fiesta. Like a significant portion of it was done on social media, and they are also reaching out now in shopping malls and other areas. And the reason was I actually had a chance to meet the gentleman in charge of global marketing for Ford in Vegas about a year ago, and what he said was basically, he came from outside of the automotive industry, so what he did was actually took risk. And Japanese manufacturers and other domestic manufacturers really just aren't taking the same kind of risk. So what he was able to do is basically say, listen, here's a Ford Fiesta, here's a Ford Focus. Give us what you think about it and post it on social media. And that created a huge amount of buzz. They also sponsored American Idol. But in addition to that, which they actually did tweet out to people that commented on Ford, they were one of the first companies to do that. In addition to that, they actually have one of the most technically enabled product out there in terms of actually taking the computer and finally bringing it into the car in a big way. Now, there's lots of competition, and some of their competitors obviously were kind of jealous there was a licensing agreement in place, even though there was a lot of lawsuits because a lot of companies were claiming that Sync owned technologies from other companies that Microsoft had stolen and other things. But there's a big lawsuit around that.
Yeah, it's typical.
Typical
So-
stuff. Yeah, lawyers, computer
So
software.
so Ian, what? Okay, Ford has been doing all sorts of very, very cool stuff. They recognize social media as a way to podcast being the one of them because they've been promoting Leo Laporte, a lot of podcasts in the United States. Finally, it's coming to Canada. But what my question is Ford has partnered with Yahoo to promote a launch of the new Focus Electric.
Yep.
Now, what's the name of that electric car? Like the Volt or something like that?
No, that
The
Volt
Focus.
is General
The
Motors.
DC?
No, it's
So what's the
basically
Ford
a Ford Focus sedan, but it's all electric.
Really?
Yeah.
100%
You plug that
electric.
sucker in
Yeah.
and you... So
Yeah.
what's the mileage on that baby? Because I'm looking
Well,
for an electric car.
Their range. So when you look at electric, strictly just electric cars right now in the marketplace, if you haven't already seen The Revenge of the Electric Car, you can get it on iTunes and through other sources. It's really, really good documentary because they have interviews with people like Bob Lutz,
Whoa.
who was like, oh yeah, I went from Mr. like burn lots of gas to like the Volt supplier or something,
Yeah,
which is hilarious. But they also had the guy from Tesla in there. A lot of really good personalities about automotive. But in addition to in that movie, they talk about electric cars. But here
Okay,
we go.
we're getting a movie guy, and he's got
Now, you're not talking Who Killed the Electric Car. You're
Revenge
talking,
of the
You're
Electric
talking
Car.
the lesser-known sequel, Revenge.
Yeah, Revenge.
Awesome.
Yeah, which
Awesome.
is awesome. I mean, if you haven't seen the original, you should watch the original first. But Revenge is basically talking about a couple different angles around electric cars. But if you're looking specifically on straight electric cars, you have Nissan with the Leaf, which is available at dealerships in Canada and the U.S. and I think worldwide. You have also a new product that was at the auto show here in Vancouver from Mitsubishi called the IMLEF, I think is what they're calling it, which is a really odd looking car.
Yeah,
You
it's
got the
weird
plug-in-
looking.
Yeah, it's weird looking. You got the
It's,
plug-in Prius.
Most of their models are like they're for commercial use, right?
Yeah, it's just a weird
cargo vans,
It's
but
a weird looking thing.
they've made it into a passenger van
Yeah,
as
it's just really odd.
Why do you think it's odd, Ian?
It's just odd.
well. No, you have to see it. It
It
is
kind
odd.
of looks like a bubble, but it's a four-door. It's just strange.
It looks like something out of Total Recall.
Yeah,
You know-
it's just weird.
Mars-
That's
Mars
my
vehicle.
question. Why do they have to make like cars that are like electric or powered with that's economical look weird?
Because
Like, what's the thing? Because it's a future car, we got to make it look like a bubble thing.
They think the customers are weird, but there's not all the companies think that way. Tesla.
It's because they sell
Te-
well in Japan.
Oh, Tesla's
Te-
awesome.
Tesla took a page out of Lotus, which is arguably one of the best cars on the planet in terms of drivability.
We saw
for the
Lotus
money.
on the way in today.
Yeah, and-
it looked
and-
like a little dinky toy. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
but Lotus is an amazing company in terms of performance, but what they did was they took an off-the-shelf Lotus and they converted it to electric, which was smart for a new car company because the cost of developing a car is massive.
But you know, the Lotus kind of looks like an electric car. You know, even like the 1960s Lotus, you could convert that into an electric car, and it
They're
would
a
look totally
badass
normal.
looking car for sure.
Because you got that whole
Yeah.
flat thing in the back, could be great
But-
for batteries.
And they got a new one coming out called the Model S, which is actually going to be interesting because it's competing with a lot of the other cars. It's going to be in the 50 grand range.
Wow.
It'll be a 4-door sedan.
That's going to kick ass.
Tesla Model S. They're already taking orders for it.
That's a
it's gonna
4-door,
start
right?
It's going to start at $57.
Ouch.
But if you're looking for a deal on a used Tesla,
No,
all the guys who got the first one are now looking to upgrade, so you
Oh,
can get a good deal on the older.
For like 80?
Well, I think they were anywhere from 100 to 140, but I went and drove them when they came out. I went and drove them down in Seattle, but
All right.
you can probably pick one up for 70, 80 grand used. Yeah.
All right. I'm
I
going
think
to
that in order for the
drag out my
electric
comic
cars-
book collection and sell
it
it.
come
And
with
pick up a
windows?
Tesla.
But definitely check out the Fisker. The Fisker is an interesting. It's not straight electric. It is a hybrid, but
what'd
it's
you
a
call that?
performance. It's called the Fisker.
Oh, I thought you said
It's a
something
Fisker.
else.
They
It's,
just
it's
launched
a
a
Fisker,
dealership.
Fisker Karma.
Yeah, it's called the Karma.
Fisker Karma.
If you watch 2.5 Men, the new 2.5 Men guy actually drives one.
yeah.
Really?
No names mentioned.
Okay,
but
so
yeah.
it has a gas engine, but the gas engine only engages.
Yeah,
one-
I actually drove one yesterday, so it was actually pretty interesting because it has a solar panel roof.
Yeah.
It has a front small battery that charges from the roof solar panels. There's
Nice.
no sunroof.
It's got regenerative braking too.
It's got
right?
regenerative braking
Yeah.
like a hybrid. It's got lithium-ion batteries. You can drive up to 80 kilometers on electric alone.
And how much?
They start at $107,000.
Ouch.
Plus tax. But there is a government rebate in British Columbia. You get a big $5,000 back.
Hey, thank you, BC, for supporting green.
And
With
then they,
$20,000
HST
down, your lease
premium,
payment's only
on it.
$1,800. With $20,000 down, lease payment.
Great. So
Yeah.
if I live in the street, I
$1,800.
can afford it.
Yeah, $1,800. That's
Okay.
plus electric, though. Plus gas and electricity.
Does it come with
So,
windows?
so the gas engine.
And
only,
It doesn't come with
Insurance.
windows, but it does have very cool technology.
the
in it.
gas engine does
It's
not
got touch screens.
drive the wheels, though. It doesn't drive
The
car.
gas engine it's like the Chevy Volt. The gas engine is used to recharge the batteries.
And that's it.
If you look at the Volt, and one of the reasons I recommend looking at Who Killed the Electric Car, Revenge of the Electric Car, the second one, is that they talk about the development of the Volt, which was a 10-year development cycle.
Wow.
So after they crushed the first EV1s and made fools of themselves in the media and then were beaten by the first
Mercilessly.
film, by everybody basically saying that they're idiots, they then admitted they were idiots and developed the Volt and spent 10 years developing it and then didn't know how to market it. So what's happening now is Volts are in every General Motors dealer throughout North America,
But
and
nobody's buying them.
they've ceased production because the car is $45,000.
Well, I'll have
Well,
to.
that's not bad.
Well,
I'll have to check
the
out that
problem
movie.
is that
Compared to
$45,000, they're losing money.
I'll have to check out that movie.
Oh.
I've seen the.
So it's a good buy, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll be
The,
blowing them out soon because
as
they
a
got a bunch
consumer.
of them on the ground.
For 20 grand, that'd be a hell of a
Hey,
big
it's a hell of a deal. But you also have to remember that Nissan's on their ass with the electric. But also
Yeah.
Tesla at $50,000 or $57,000 or whatever it's going to land at. That's a hell of a buy for that car. When you look at it, I mean, I highly recommend checking it out.
You know, Ian, I'm waiting
cool.
for I'm waiting for British Motors to come out with an electric.
Oh, you're
vehicle.
waiting for you're waiting for Tata Motors? You mean? The
Yeah, well,
owners
you
of
know-
Jaguar and Land Rover.
Yeah, well, you know,
Yeah, okay.
the British car is classically known for, you know,
What about that Indian
not a bad car, but the
Yeah,
electric
that's
suck.
Tata Motors. They bought Jaguar and Land Rover from Ford. It was
Yeah,
the
except
smartest
that-
decision Ford
Yeah,
ever
but their
made was to
electric
sell
system
it.
sucks.
They said, "Here you go, guys. Giddy up."
Please take it away.
But Ford is doing great things. I
Hey,
really
aren't
like
they
the
doing an
product line.
amazing promo? You were talking about you walk by a showroom and you
Yeah,
go in there.
actually, downtown here in Vancouver, they actually had a kiosk set up. And the cool thing about the kiosk was they actually were talking about, I think, the Ford Focus and the new Ford Fusion, and they were getting people to do like action shots or something. And it was just a really cool reach out to the community to promote the car.
Okay.
You don't see car companies generally do that well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my question is, do you know the Chrysler's has its own app?
Has its own app, the Chrysler
Yeah, well,
app.
what they're saying is driving. There's an app for that.
There's an app for that.
Chrysler app.
Ooh.
At least that's what
Yeah.
Chrysler is.
Is it
hoping to
sponsored
hit.
by Eminem?
You spend $35,000 in a car and you can spend 99 cents on an app.
But is it built in Detroit? That's the question.
Does
Yeah.
it park itself?
So
Will it
Chrysler-
blend is my
So
question.
starting in
Ford or something.
2013,
Don't you watch that?
Well, come on. Alfa
Travel
Romeo's coming
show?
back,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
Ford's bringing in
the
Alfa
But
Dodge
does the
Ram,
app-
Really?
No, not
the
Ford.
Viper.
But not
Dodge.
Dodge Alfa
Yeah.
Romeo electric?
Well, no, Alfa Romeo is coming back to North America because they launched the Fiat and it's done well. So they're talking about Alfa Romeo coming back.
Isn't that that new lawnmower
Ooh,
hybrid?
Italian.
Spider Veloci.
If
Yeah,
I
it's
had
kind of like a mini but Italian.
if I had a
You
driver,
get a feeling
So
they're
it
ignoring
has
us.
no power and it breaks all the time.
Yeah, but it looks cool.
Oh, well, there you go.
And
That
you can stop by the
definitely
side of the
sounds
road as a young lady and get help.
like the
Right?
new Testarossa.
That's probably a good thing.
It's kind of like the new the Scion, that little Scion car, but much cooler.
All right.
Yeah. Like the
Well,
new
after
Scion
looking
is
at
the
the
smallest car in the world, but it's not as cool as the Fiat.
Uh, I've looked at some of the new Fiat cars. They're butt ugly.
Yeah, well, the red one's really ugly, so check it out, man.
Okay.
Yeah, they got
I
the
will.
convertible top, the old like canvas top.
Yeah, well, but
Old
you know,
school.
maybe maybe it's an
canvas.
environmental
It's
move
cute,
because your,
though,
your,
man.
your
It's
car
cute.
is
It's-
so
it's
ugly. You're
designed to
embarrassed to
women.
drive it, so you don't use any gas.
You
Yeah,
get
women
sympathy
love it,
from the
man.
girls if you have an ugly car. Oh, I'll just drive with
What do
her.
you think of the Fiat? What do you think?
Well, I know
Give
JP.
us a woman's opinion on the Fiat.
Haven't seen it, can't comment.
I think it's cute.
I drive
There
a
you
big
go,
old.
see?
I drive a big old Beamer. So what can I say?
Harsh
So what do you
tone.
think? What do you think?
I know
of,
Jay Peachy's got the new salmon oil car.
No, I have a salmon bike. It's a bicycle, but
Is it
it
big?
doesn't
Made of
it doesn't
salmon?
run on Windows.
No, he's got this big
just so I
van.
know.
Does it run on salmon oil?
salmon cartilage. is
No,
made of
no,
it.
no.
Is it
Just,
made of
just
salmon?
go with the flow. Just natural,
So we-
water.
All natural.
Yep.
Yeah,
No.
sweat.
Yes.
Ian,
Yeah.
so what?
That's what works
so
out.
how prevalent do you think apps are going to become in a car? Like, do you
Well,
think?
it's interesting because the new version of Sync, endorsed by Microsoft,
Oh, thank you
does
very
have
much.
the ability with some phones to transfer apps to the car. So I think eventually what you will see, probably in future updates, the interesting thing about Sync and in computers and cars is historically the biggest problem car companies had was they'd set up a bunch of features in a car to be compatible with your phone or your iPod or whatever it was. And then, of course, they changed the phone or the iPod or they changed the software and they were hooped. But the nice thing about all these new interfaces that you're seeing in cars that are really bringing the computer into the car, be it whatever flavor you want, is they can update that software. So what I really liked about what they did with the update and what it showed me was that you could fix problems with the vehicle in terms of interactivity with other devices, be that apps or be that phones or be that computers, and you can do it by just a software update. So there's a new revenue stream and also a better user experience for the driver of the car because they can then take their technology with them in the car. So if you got a family in the car, they could be watching movies on Wi-Fi. They could be, they could be interacting with
Who's
apps,
driving?
all that kind of stuff. You could do text as you're driving. It'll do the speech with some phones now. There's a lot of technology that's coming forward, and Ford is really in the forefront of that with Sync. But I think all the other car companies, Hyundai and Kia, and obviously everybody else is already on the drawing board. There's also rumor that BMW is talking to big companies, including Apple and others, in terms of developing their own technology. But the biggest challenge with car companies, though, is they'll have an exclusive right to the technology for a period of time. So what I think's happened with Sync is now that they've had their couple years with Sync, other companies are now approaching Microsoft and going, okay, well, we want our own. So they got to badge it something else, and it's going to have a different interface, but the underpinnings will probably be similar. So
Okay.
eventually you'll have a standardized system, be it Windows or Mac or Unix or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but it'll interact with your phone so that you can share all the apps and everything else in your car and use them that way.
Stitcher is available in Ford Sync.
Oh, okay.
So Stitcher is basically a talk radio platform. It's basically podcasts.
Yeah.
A podcast directory that is streamed online or downloaded to a device. Now, they've got a deal now with, I think, 5 other automotive manufacturers. So now people are going to be able to access podcasts directly to their car and their commute without having to have an iPod or an iPhone or an Android phone.
Well, you can do Bluetooth audio streaming in my car. So
Oh
if
no,
you have anything on it,
absolutely
it
you
streams
can.
it. Yeah.
But you won't even need that with Stitcher. You'll be able to access, like, say, the Bunker Project. And by the way, there is at least 100 to 200 new subscribers to the Bunker Project because we're now on Stitcher. So thanks for listening. And anybody else who wants to get the Bunker Project on Stitcher, just go to stitcher.com/bunker. And you can download the app at that link.
Well, the other cool thing you can do, and the cool thing about how it updates, is it uses the Sirius satellite network to update. So what happens is basically periodically it does updates.
When I'm full.
Yeah.
Like real time, pretty much. Like what'll happen is you'll start the car up and it'll go black, and then it'll look like it's updating, and it'll actually is updating the software.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming long term you'll probably be looking at cloud-based stuff as well. But the coolest thing about it is the ability to basically probably long-term change the interface to suit the driver of the car.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I think that's where it's going. Now, are we ways away from that? Yeah, to a certain degree, but I think within 5 years, that's going to be in every car. You're going to have some sort of computer interface in the car that does stuff for you. It'll be like an assistant. I mean, the voice-based integration is getting very, very good. The content, the ability to access content is huge. Applications, of course, are going to move that way anyway. And the companies that get it are going to promote that as a special thing for their car. And people are going to choose cars based on being able to take their mobile technology with them because 50% of the people have that technology. And those are the people that are going to pay more for cars, so they're going to demand those features. For example, Fisker. And I took a look at their car and drove it. that car has probably some of the biggest touchscreen enabled technology and some of the more sci-fi looking stuff, but it doesn't have the interactivity that Sync has. So it's kind of interesting that they're trying to make it really sexy and really sci-fi like, and it's very colorful and cool, but it doesn't really do what Sync does. So there's going to be definitely a battlefield with mobile technology in cars, and whoever can dominate that market is going to be, in front of millions of consumers every year.
You need a turret. I need a turret on my car. If it's a battlefield, I need like full on, like flame throwing, all the things you would get in all the other.
Yeah, well, watch Red Jacket. They'll build that for you.
I can do
Okay.
that.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to jump in here because the ladies here, they're busy posting to Instagram. I just want to say that...
dude, we're trying to make us trend on Twitter.
Dude.
So, bite me.
Has any,
Dude.
And it's a good thing that you're not paying attention.
Hey, although I have to say that my little tweet about how Ford's one of the most social media savvy car companies just got retweeted from some guy in Wisconsin.
well,
Cool.
there you
hot
go.
guy.
We
Yes,
want to talk about
Hot guy.
Mark, the Mark Z. And
Yeah,
then-
well, so we're speaking. Bob said you guys are doing Instagram, but Instagram is now owned by Facebook.
yeah.
It was only
Booyah.
$1 billion.
Well,
Is that
it's a
the
friend
thing
of
that
Mark's.
The iOS people were
Okay,
so pissed.
what I
about?
want to know,
Marks want people to play with.
I want to know
because
is
that's
who are these young guys, and I want to meet them just before.
To sell them insurance?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, that's another idea
She
too.
wants to sell them other things.
Oh, yeah.
Millennium Falcon.
They're looking
Just
at
before
Star
they get,
Trek, I think.
they create these things that get bought by these huge companies for billions of dollars.
I know. Doesn't that suck? You know what happens in
It's
Vancouver
actually
a
a
lot?
good thing.
Vancouver is a hot spot for stuff like that.
So Pinterest is probably one of the reasons why they were so interested in getting an image-based company, because Pinterest is showing that images are super successful online.
Well, we posted a bunch of images today. You went crazy. I hope your employer doesn't listen to the show, but holy cow, he was like 30 posts. I did like 30 posts today, too. It took like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Bob was trying to get the alley boys, the bunker alley boys,
yeah,
to
pushing
come
the
back.
alley boys. Not that if they become popular, I'm going to do it again, because it was like an hour and a half to produce one of those damn things. 1 minute. And
And
nobody watched
only
them.
8 people watched them.
Yeah,
I
know.
saw it twice.
Tragic.
It was good.
Tragic. I mean, so it wasn't 8 people. It was actually 6 people.
Yeah. But I'm bipolar, so it counts.
I watched it 3
Oh,
times.
okay, cool. Thank God for mental illness. That's all I can say. You know?
I've got followers. That's, I don't know.
I've got
Really?
many followers, and I don't know any of them.
Really want them.
So what do you think they're going to do with Instagram? Are they going to keep it as it is, or are they going to integrate it into Facebook?
Well, there's certainly been a lot of people taking their pictures off because they were worried about now the privacy concerns, since Facebook has such amazing privacy policies.
Oh, yeah. They're just
Well-
ironclad.
Well, there's been a big thing with Pinterest,
Only
actually.
150 million, no.
The big thing with Pinterest right now is a bunch of people have bailed on Pinterest because you're wide open for legal action. If you take any image that's not yours and put it on Pinterest, it's a violation of copyright law. And you
Okay, what about
You can't
repinning
take
an
other
image?
people's
Scary stuff.
images and use them as your own.
No.
Oh.
What if you don't post an
I
image?
didn't realize that.
I'd rather just
Well,
be a
that's why you're so
Stanley Cup
big in
rider.
social media.
But what if you don't? What if you don't? You don't put up someone else's image?
But you're
you
not stealing the image
repin
because
it?
it links back to them.
Doesn't matter. It's still it's copyright infringement.
Well, then why did they create Pinterest?
Because if you look
To
at the
get
small
rich
print, it says, "Oh, we
and
created
famous.
Pinterest to make a bunch of money to get bought out." Ha ha ha! And by the way, you're liable.
Because you can only post, you can only pin things that are already on the net. So,
well, just because it's on the net doesn't give you copyright rules. It's not
Hey,
public domain.
if it's theirs, it's mine.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I don't think anybody.
hence the internet.
I'm copywriting street signs. Hey.
yeah.
You know,
I don't think
Come
any.
after me,
I don't
dude.
think anybody would complain if somebody pinned their.
Generally, people put stuff up there to have it shared.
Yeah, exactly. So they're getting backlinks and they're getting a lot of traffic
Well, okay,
generated.
but look at Lee Laporte. He gets shut down. A lot of his YouTube, when he plays a YouTube video on his show live, that part of the show gets shut down by Google because it's an algorithm to see if it's basically a copyright infringement. Even with promotional material that comes out by Google, he still got shut down. So it's a lot of gray area. And I tell you, you can't go to court and say, well, geez, I didn't know. That
No, but, okay.
ignorance is
So-
not a
Can, but it
defense.
doesn't work.
So what if it's not you that's putting up the pin on Pinterest? What if you're just repinning somebody? Do you think you're liable then?
That's a very good question. Depends who gets sued first.
Because you didn't do it. You just
What a
sat there and
waste of the court
repinned it.
system.
Yeah.
I
Well,
disagree.
well,
I disagree.
well, maybe
'Cause
maybe you'll
repinning
get.
it-
Let her.
All right.
because
fine.
You can agree to disagree. It's a free
repinning it
country.
Isn't copying on Pinterest.
Yeah, only if you pin it
is-
3 times.
Absolutely.
Well, it's the same thing. It's basically like you post something on
Hang
your Facebook
on, let
wall,
Bonnie finish.
and then I share it on my
let
Come
her
on,
Facebook.
finish.
Andrew.
Come on, Andrew.
You're bossing
Come
me
on.
around. My turn. Bonnie, please step up to the plate.
I don't know what I was.
All right,
gonna
fine.
say.
So now, Bonnie.
Yeah, and you're drinking Diet Coke. What the hell, man?
Come on, Bonnie. Come on. No,
Come on, you
really.
got to drink like
because
Bob.
it's not really. Pinterest is all about repinning. Repinning is like creating
Yeah, that's a cool.
content.
Yep.
It's like being liked and shared on Facebook. It's something
Yeah.
you want.
That's right, and it's something that you actually that you did. It doesn't happen by accident. So the fact
it's
that
curated.
you perpetuated something bad. Didn't your mother tell you when you were
Well,
young?
two bads
just
don't make it
because
good.
You did what the other kids did.
It's very true.
Same sort of thing.
Yeah, but now, okay, our mother used to say, "Don't follow people, don't stalk people, and don't do, don't like everything
got a
they
very
like."
modern
But
mother.
so now we stalk people and follow them, and it's like it's all okay. Please follow me.
Well, I think what's interesting is the first case that goes to copyright court, and the person gets sued. So, you're the original person that pinned, and 75,000 people repinned. We're going to sue you for all the distribution. Those people are.
Oh, and by the way, thanks for all that traffic.
yeah, exactly.
So basically, the lawyers are going to make a buttload of money, and that's about it.
As usual.
That's Snoop.
Is this started by lawyers, by the way?
That's what's Pinterest was started by lawyers. Excellent
I
concept.
think they're missing out on the,
Oh,
on
I'm
the
gonna
whole
tweet
social
that.
media money trail. That's why they're looking to do this.
Well, anyways. So I love Pinterest. It's very cool. Every day I get 5 or 10 emails saying, I'm following you. I don't know the people that are following me, but it's kind of like Twitter, but with pictures.
But I get 10 followers on Quora.
What's
What's
what
with
the hell's
Quora?
Quora?
And
Quora's all
nobody's
over
even
me
looked at it for like a year and a half.
I know, it's
trying
weird,
to, it's
isn't
just
it?
trying to hook you back in. That's all that is.
Doesn't
No one cares.
It's just an
Quora.
algorithm.
No.
Well, what's interesting, and here we're stopping into in very techie terms here. What happens is you have this data out there, and your data is connected with multiple pieces of content, and an algorithm can go in there and regenerate interest in that content, regardless of how old it is, and throw it back in your face and say, "Oh, by the way, some people are interested," to get you restarted. So it's very sticky out there. It's like.
There's also a bunch of spammers that just troll these sites. Like you get all sorts of people that'll follow you on Twitter, for example, and when you check out who they are, their accounts end up being suspended because they're trying to sell porn or something like that.
I
Or-
block
or-
and report those people.
Or viruses.
Yeah.
Like, this person is saying bad things about you, and then there's a link. And if
Oh,
you
that's
click
cool.
Who are
Classic
the
virus.
suckers that keep clicking on those frickin' links?
Hundreds of millions
Can they
of
be
average
shot?
Americans. Not average Canadians, average
Yeah, I
Americans.
mean, that's
Okay, I like the way you say that.
Yeah.
So I can say stuff about you.
Except
and
for the
then
Mighty
no one
Quinn,
will
because we know he would.
I
just
want to
say-
hear
Not
from the
dare to
movie
click on it.
Maven.
And you can even use the other person's email address.
This might be kind of ironic, but I got a private message from the actual official verified account for the Bully movie saying somebody's saying mean things about you, click here. And usually I'd be like, I'm not going to click here. But it's the Bully movie, so it has to have something.
No, they just got hacked.
They just
I know, and I was totally duped.
At least they picked the right ones,
So you were virused.
Yeah, but the account was verified. What's the point?
No. Anybody can be and that just means that the account is actually from the Bully movie. It doesn't mean they're not susceptible to spam and viruses the same as everybody else.
Yeah, they're just
Well, that makes it
Don't
spoofing that
trust
email
anyone.
address.
They're creating more content. They're just
Don't
Your
click on
mother.
links unless they're from people you trust, and also don't click on a link.
Don't
with
worry
no,
about Big Brother.
Oh, it's
Don't click on a link with no preamble that says, "Hey, read this awesome article." But all this bullshit. If somebody says something bad about you, it's like, don't.
Yeah, if it's out of
That's
character.
just basic stuff because what they can do is they can take your email address, send emails out to all sorts of people using your email address, and they'll send emails to people that you know, and they'll look at this email address, seeming as if it's coming from you, but it actually isn't.
Yeah.
So if you're going to open
I'm
an
in-
attachment
I'm in-
from someone,
I'm on
you need to
vacation in Europe
verify-
and I'm stranded. I need $1,500 to get
Digression.
home.
Yeah.
That was Skype, not email.
Oh, hey, speaking of
Who's
Skype,
counting?
Skype 5 sucks. Please downgrade to 2.8. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's next? on
Trust
our
me,
show notes here?
Microsoft has totally screwed Skype. Have you been to Microsoft? Skype 5 is awful. It's a screen hog. It doesn't work. It uses all sorts of bandwidth you don't
I
need.
thought Facebook bought Skype.
No, Microsoft bought
Oh,
Skype.
okay, well, maybe that-
God's sake, people, keep up with the show. Show 28, 23, and 52.
We're on 83 just to set the record straight.
I
anyway.
know,
You
but
need to
those
drink-
shows where
you
we
need-
talked
you need to
about
drink
it.
more, buddy.
A lot more. A lot more. All right, so
Hey, if you want to return something to Best Buy now.
You better do it quick because they're going to be folded.
exactly, the president's
Yeah, they're
even
in trouble.
giving up.
Do
but
it
maybe,
this
maybe,
week.
maybe this is why they're in trouble.
No one buys stuff there anymore.
That
The
would be
president
it.
has fled.
If you buy a defective product at Best Buy, you've got to scan your driver's license into their system when you return it.
Yeah.
And then you're put on a list and you're banned from returning or exchanging any goods for 90 days to prevent the people that, for example, buy a big screen TV right before the Super Bowl and then return it the day after.
No,
So-
I can't do that anymore.
So, I mean, no
Really?
wonder
Can't do
people
that?
are...
Hey, that's
Let-
kind of smart.
Best Buy and Future
Yeah, but
Shop
I mean-
are a bunch of assholes, and that's all I have to
Come
say.
on, you love them, Bob.
Yeah.
Tell
Don't-
us
Bob.
how much.
You won't
Okay.
get-
That's what you feel.
Okay, what they need to do is buy it from Costco because we all know you
Bob,
can pretty
tell
much
us-
take
tell 'em
anything
how
back
much
to
you love it.
Costco.
I mean,
Tell us
like-
how much
Hey,
you
No,
love
look,
but,
it.
okay,
they've
here's-
been jerking around customers for long. They overcharge. They don't know people that. I mean, it's
They don't
an
overcharge.
awful.
What are you talking about?
Are you kidding? Give me a break. I
you
know what a good
kidding?
deal's. Exactly.
Are you kidding? Are you
Are you
kidding?
kidding?
But I mean,
kidding
but I
That
mean,
is my
talk about...
Mexican voice. My Mexican voice. Oh my God!
Really?
I'd kill you.
I give you. If I was there, I would kill you right now. I would kill you right now between the eyes.
That's not Mexican
Women.
at all.
Anyways,
What was that? That's like an illegal something.
I don't know what it was.
Are you kidding me?
But talk about bad customer service, right?
Hey, I
Like,
wasn't even nasal, so
If you have
I'm
a defective
safe.
product and you want to
That's
return it
'cause
and
you
you're
were
banned
too
from returning it,
high-pitched.
why would you buy anything from them for the next 90
The
days?
salmon are complaining.
You wouldn't.
Buy the bladder.
I wouldn't even walk into their stores. For God's sake, it's a waste of time.
Come on, you love Best Buy. It's almost as good as Future
I
Shop.
saw you there last week.
Yeah, well, true. It's almost as good as whatever big franchisee BS place
Well,
that
it's kind of
sells the
like
stuff that's
Indigo in
overpriced.
chapters, right? Indigo is the
Hey,
worst.
I
part.
shop on eBay and on Amazon USA and ship, and the hell with Canadian consumers and producers.
Oh!
God.
Oh, man.
Walking the streets, Bob. You're gonna be walking the streets, eh? The workers, watch out.
Hey.
Look for a guy with a light blue
People
shirt
give
and
me
khaki
a hard
pants,
time
eh?
for trashing the states.
I
And here it's
disagree-
like,
I
I
disagree
love
with,
consumerism in the states. It's
I,
great here.
I disagree with Bob on a couple points.
All right, here
Just
it
a
is.
couple?
Yeah, a couple points. Number one,
Number one, we shop exclusively. At
number
Music
one,
Row.
like for a lot of
Number one,
things,
the Americans are
I
I
want to
will-
hear what Andrew has to say.
for a lot of things, I will shop online with a U.S. Online retailer.
Damn
like
right.
Amazon.com,
Look at these
Musicians
mics.
Friends,
Awesome mics.
Musiciansfriends.com.
Hey, did you
things
just
like
buy
that.
a
Now,
mic?
It's
What's your new mic? Did you get a
Oh, yeah.
Jalapeno
And
40?
it's all thanks to the mighty Quinn. He brought this microphone.
Yeah, and where did you buy it from?
I bought it from BSW USA.
Based in USA. There you
BSW
go.
USA.
Thank you. And you're shipping
$325
to?
to Blaine, and I'm going to drive down
And you're
to
going to drive across the border
Yeah,
and
okay.
not even pay
Now,
taxes when you bring it back.
What I have to say is this.
Awesome.
What I have to say is this. Okay. Now, when it comes to buying products, if it's a commodity, who cares where you buy it from?
Yeah, like what's a commodity?
But if you're buying it's just any product.
Half a pound of commodity. Go down to Safeway. I want some tomatoes.
Like for instance,
some shit, and
Ian
half a pound of commodity.
Ian is all about the car industry, and he's all about increasing sales and providing value.
and making money.
Now,
and making money.
If you go into a car dealership and you can buy a car, and every car dealership is the same, why would you buy it why would you buy a car for more when you can get it for less somewhere else?
It's all about service.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So if you're buying a product in Canada from a local retail that gives you awesome service, why would you even think about going somewhere else?
Exactly.
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
But if you're buying a microphone,
It's all about the service.
it's
Oh,
really
sorry,
not.
sorry.
Unless you do have somebody that is providing awesome service.
You're right. It's all about the sound quality if you're buying a mic. Sorry.
No, it's out service too, buddy.
Yeah, it's a
Really?
Bit,
Yeah,
it is.
because if the sound quality is great, no matter where you buy it, but some place provides better service, obviously you're going to go back there. For example, I'll give you a real example.
All right, give it to me, baby.
I was looking at buying a green screen from a company here in
Oh,
Vancouver.
I've seen your green screen, and they suck because you bought it in Vancouver.
No, I tried to buy one from Vancouver, so I called the guy, and he gave me all the reasons why he was way too overpriced, and he couldn't help me.
Right, because
And then I asked him, okay, well, do you sell lights? Yeah, we do. Well, could you research it for me? Yeah, I can. I'll get back to you. Never did.
Yeah, because he's a Vancouver salesperson.
So I
it's
conveniently
because
bought
he's
it
a
over the
shitty
internet
Vancouver
in the
salesperson.
U.S., and it's already on its way.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
you don't have.
That's my point exactly.
Okay.
Like,
My
what is he
point
doing?
exactly.
What is he doing? He's
So-
talking me out of buying stuff here. Like
So
I
if-
tried to support him, and he didn't want to sell
Yeah.
it to me.
So if a Canadian retailer isn't willing to fight for your business and provide really good service, then why are you going to be loyal to them just because
Exactly.
they're
Well,
Canadian?
Hell
I'll
with
give you
it.
an example of one that did do well here in the local market.
Was-
I happen to like Echo shoes. I don't know if you're.
Oh
familiar
my
with
God! You just spent a mint on those shoes.
So anyway, I went to this Echo shoe store. The woman working there, she has better customer service than some car dealers I work with.
Oh, she was giving awesome service.
Awesome. She had like 3 people in the store. She said, if you
servicing
give
the
me an
hell
email,
out
I'll
of
give you
those guys.
20%
Just hire her.
off.
Just
It was
hire her.
great.
Yeah, how much were those shoes, Ian?
Well, normally they're like about I think $200, and she was giving us 20% off if you just give her an email.
Right. So how much did you pay for those shoes?
Building her list.
20% off.
Of 20% of $200 is $20.
Yeah, around there for an email.
That would be 40.
Keep the extra 20,
I
Bob.
love that.
the
Everybody
extra
started going
20.
to calculator mode.
Wow,
that's
here's
a
your
lot.
20 bucks.
60.
The other 20 goes for my
$40.
microphone, okay?
I'm not sure because I was
my
educated in
God.
Canada.
That's awesome because,
40,
you know,
but there's a metric
internet
system, so maybe
marketers-
it's 28.
Internet marketers are always talking about
Blame
building
Canada.
the list, right? Building the list.
Yeah.
And the money is in the list. That's what they say. But most retailers don't get it that really
definitely
the money is in the list. And,
Well,
and
you got to give
Well, the
people a
money
reason. You gotta
isn't
give them a
giving
reason.
good service and getting repeat clients.
You
It's
gotta give them
about
a
the
reason.
service. Absolutely. It's the
Exactly.
long-term investment. If somebody comes into the store, regardless if you give a $7 haircut or a $100 haircut, it's how many times they come back for that haircut. So if they come for 3 $80 haircuts or 400 $7 haircuts, you make more money on the $7 haircuts because you get great service and they came out 400
Well, the
times.
same as, it's the same in any industry. You don't want the client to just be a one-off client.
No.
You want them to be happy. You want them to come back and
repeat
buy more,
client,
and
yeah.
you want them to tell
And how do you do that?
You want them
Give
to
them
tell
great
all their
service.
friends about you.
Yeah, but
Give them
how do
great
you do
service.
that?
Great
By giving
service.
by being different or being dead.
give
No.
them no. Well, it's
Oh, please
We
do
just
not
read
quote
that.
books.
it's about giving them great service and asking for permission to contact them again.
Well, I'll give you
Exactly.
another. I'll
Sell
give you
the hell
another
out of 'em.
example. I'll give you an example from Staples, and I generally don't like Staples, but what they did is they said, "Listen, you give us your email, you have a chance to win $5,000 at Staples." That was a pretty compelling reason to give them an email.
You know, and that's pretty amazing for a store that just sells staples.
Yeah, you know, they
You know,
sell those
I
buttons,
got a
those
stapler.
buttons
You know
that
the
have
funniest
email
thing?
ones. That's it.
The funniest thing was I was in
Staples.
Bob. I was in Staples one day, and I had a hell of a time actually because I was actually there to buy
They did.
Staples.
Exactly.
And
Don't have the right
I was
type of
I was
staples.
walking
sell
around the store
Staples, no.
laughing my ass off because I couldn't find the staples.
Yeah, you know any staples? No, we sold out.
But did you
For
find
God's
the stapler?
sake.
Did you find the stapler?
Get
I
it
already had
together.
the stapler, but I eventually found the staples. But I thought it was kind
They
of
have an
funny that I'm
awesome
in
salmon
Staples and I'm
department,
having a hard time finding
I
staples.
like the teeny tiny little stapler at Staples. Does
No,
everybody have a
no.
teeny
Oh, it's
tiny
No,
so
little
I like
stapler?
Did they give
the
you-
full on steel metal.
teeny tiny
I want
bug
nice
one.
weight in
Did
my
they give you a
stapler.
button? Did they give you a button that was easy
Oh,
when you left?
yeah. The,
No, I've had one from years ago. I lost it.
Yeah, well, that's,
It was
it's
too
very
easy.
hard
that was
to
an
say.
easy
Oh,
button.
I know. She used to take the
That was
bars.
difficult. Can I get an easy button, please?
I
sorry,
give it
what
to
was that?
guys. Sorry,
You're not supposed to put on your lapel.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
just
Hi,
leave
I
it
brought
at-
my
leave it
easy.
at
I
home.
didn't move
Hi.
it. I didn't keep it
I'm
when
easy.
I moved. Let's put
Press
it
to
that
see
way.
what happens.
All right, it turns me on.
Well, it turned something on.
All right.
Mm.
So,
Hey, anyways. Hey, so much for retail.
What about online?
All right,
retail?
Andrew just pointed at somebody. It says here in very small print, a Facebook app that converts brands' Facebook pages into Pinterest-style
So I just put that on the Bunker
Blah,
Project
blah, blah.
Facebook page.
Is that a
Never been
WSO
much- Oh,
offer?
that's the first page.
It's called Pinvolve.
Pinvolve. Create a new section on a
No, it's
Facebook
not a
page that
WSO.
presents the
It's
photos.
just an app. It's
blah,
a
blah,
Facebook
blah.
app that allows you to turn your whole Facebook, all your posts
Yeah.
into Pinterest-style
Oh,
boards.
no, there's a WSO for that. It's like
Yeah, but you
$7.
can't.
Yeah, but you don't-
but you
I
can't
love
export it to
WSO.
Pinterest.
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
love-
hate about
Hey,
Pinterest?
hey,
You
hang
can't
on.
do bulk
I
uploads.
like
You
WSO
shit
too.
with it.
I'll give you
like
that.
7,000
I like-
photographs. I want to Pinterest them on this
Yeah, I
board
can't
and
even
say,
put
check
someone
this
was on.
out.
WSO has some pretty cool stuff, but you don't need
Back
that.
in
You
my
can just,
day.
you
Bloody
can just go
personal.
to. It's free, but they do charge. Oh, I see what you're saying. They do,
Oh, here he
no,
comes.
they do
Here.
charge. They do charge it for.
Is
some
that the
extra features.
freemium model
Yeah.
that we're so familiar
If you
with?
want, if you want
It's
their
free,
little.
but if you want features, it costs money.
No. Basically, it's maybe this is what you're talking about. The WSO is $7.
Yeah,
They charge $15 if you want to take off their branding at the
Oh,
top.
yeah, okay.
So
Well, that's typical. I use Woofu. Awesome. If you guys not into.
So if you want to take
Woofu.
off the bar at the top that says "Get Pinvolve,"
Yeah, okay.
then it's like $15.
a month
So I guess if you go to the
No,
WSO,
forever.
you'll get it for half price.
I think, yeah, there was a WSO like last week for that. I love those emails.
I get those emails. I like to
need
read
an acronym.
them. I
Okay,
very rarely
I
buy
want
them,
an
but-
acronym definition. What WFO?
Warrior.
Forum sales offer.
You see,
Yeah,
the
sales
people use
offers,
WFOs and
Anyways, this
Warrior
Pinvolve
Forum Sales Office.
what the heck does
sales
that mean?
offers. Offers.
What the heck does that mean?
Everything in the
Okay,
world.
so there's the Warrior Forum,
software-wise
which is
for
like an internet
$7.
marketing forum. It
Very
used to
nice.
be
Really, $7?
I buy shit all the. Oh, I buy stuff all the time.
Hey, it's okay. You can
That's-
buy shit too.
Okay.
That's like going
I
to
got to ask
London
you a
Drugs.
question.
It's cheaper though.
You buy stuff all the time.
Yep.
I know London
much-
Drugs is Bob approved.
How much?
Is
What
London Drugs
percentage
Bob
of the stuff
endorsed?
that you buy do you actually
Absolutely.
use?
Oh, okay.
I have an
40%.
email to prove
What
it.
about the
40%?
staff? What about the
That's pretty
staff?
high, I
Is that-
think.
So the other that is high actually.
Oh, one of these days I'm going to use it. That's sort of like buying at Costco. Yeah?
Yeah.
Where you buy stuff and you think,
Oh, I saved some
Someday
money, but
You
I
think-
got screwed.
what-
I
You
saved
mean-
all that money.
think
WSO
you
offers
feed a
though,
village,
they're
Costco?
they really are an impulse buy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you feed a
It's
village.
only $7.
You can
Okay.
buy a whole office suite for $7.
Yeah. 10 liters of peanut butter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
$7.
It can do all
It's-
that. I'll never
okay,
do it.
I-
But man, it's a good deal. I better.
I'm
grab it
about
right
to get in
again.
trouble here. I had a conversation with some
to
female
get in trouble?
folks. Yeah.
About to get in trouble?
Yeah, exactly. And they said, "Oh, we went shopping and we got 60% off on this product, and we got 80% off on this product, and we got 40% off that." I said, "Wow, you came back with like $340 in savings." Oh, no, we spent all that. So. What's with that? Guys would go in and say,
in the-
"Oh, look,
they're-
I just
Sarah,
saved
that's girl
$300."
math.
Because like, "Oh, we just made $300.
That's
Let's
guy
go
math.
blow it on some crap."
Well, they were in the buying
So
mood.
you're not
Bob.
saving money, you're
They
just
were in the
blowing
buying
it.
mood. It's called shopping.
You said a bunch
No,
of crap in the
that's-
office.
that
I was
Bob-
so pissed with
Bob,
that.
that
wealth
is girl
distri-
math. You know, if you had a $100 budget and you only had to spend $40, then you can still spend $60 to buy more stuff.
Yeah, but you're not saving money, you're just blowing it. Good
That's the point of
God.
the exercise, man.
Not if you're buying cool stuff.
You're
That's-
actually just
It
storytelling.
was on
That's
sale.
retail.
Not if you're buying cool stuff like a high.
If I
If
just
we're
buy
buying
one
shoes,
thing,
we're
I only have one
excused.
story.
You're not hunting, you're just gathering stuff.
Oh, okay. So Andrew bought a Heil PR40. He saved like what $300. He didn't go out and spend $300 on
$200.
shots of whiskey. I just saved $300 on
Idiot.
a mic. I'm just gonna get completely pissed on some because I got $300 to blow. Yeah,
You gotta apply girl math, you could get
because
away with
I'm
it.
using woman math. Fuck.
No, you don't get it. That's why we
Please,
have.
and
That's why.
with that debauchery,
That's
let's
why we have
wind up this
Wix.com.
pathetic show.
Thanks Wix.com for sponsoring the
Oh,
Bunker
Wix,
Project.
sorry. Oh, yeah, our sponsor.
Oh, Wixie.
Hey, you know,
And we're
if you're
blowing
a
all the money
woman,
on
if you're a
whiskey.
woman and you want to save a ton of money, go to Wix because it's free. And look, you get 20, 30, 40 bucks to spend
It's
on shoes.
freemium.
And it supports HTML5.
And
Yeah,
London Drugs is endorsed by, right?
Oh, yeah, well, I endorse London Drugs because you can take stuff back. And I'm a cheap so-and-so. Nah, I'm not going to talk about that. No. Everybody's looking at me and saying, Bob, come on, tell us
Thanks
the
for
story.
listening to another episode of The Bunker Show.
Yeah, if you made it through this.
Sorry, Craig, we didn't
cluster.
get to you this week.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Craigster. By the way, big shout out to your daughter because she's cool.
Van Betsy.